So sorry for the post-gym sweatiness, but I want to address a comment that keeps coming up in some of my videos as well as came up in my lives yesterday. And it addresses this potential notion that Prigozhin, the Wagner Group boss, is actually a CIA plant, or he's a Ukrainian spy that has finally been activated to turn on Russia. I can't say with absolute certainty that he isn't one of those things, but what I can tell you is those that are feeding this narrative either are just kind of guessing, which is fine. They're just floating things, ideas, theories, no problem with that. But then the other side of it is there's a Russian media aspect that is trying to float this idea that he's a UK operative or United Kingdom operative or a US CIA operative, or the Ukrainians created him. And I'd have to say that it doesn't make sense for one reason. These same people that have touted Prigozhin and have called the United Kingdom and the United States absolute buffoons on the international stage over and over again, these Russian pundits, these Russian bloggers, these Russian supporters have continuously lamented how stupid the United States is in this war in Ukraine. But then suddenly we're such nefarious geniuses that we have infiltrated Russia with Yevgeny Prigozhin, who has conducted war criminal level operations in Africa, including in Syria, has conducted war criminal operations in Ukraine, who is, for all intents and purposes, an ally to the United States. It's pretty silly. I mean, and then the other side of it is this Ukrainian operative thing. So you're telling me that Ukraine, in order to just secretly allow this whole event to come to fruition, allowed Prigozhin to operate in Bakhmut, taking territory, killing Ukrainians over and over again, committing war crimes. His men were raping civilian Ukrainians because often they were just former inmates he had recruited. He had been a caterer within the Kremlin and was Russian, one of the inner circle folks for a while there. It just is a lot of stretching. It's pretty far-fetched. More than likely, he's just an ambitious leader who saw an opportunity because he had a large, well-trained, funded force that has combat experience. He got fed up with Sergei Shoigu, he got fed up with Gerasimov, he got fed up with Lavrov and Peskov, and saw that Putin wasn't doing anything about it. So he said, I have an army, I have a well-trained army, I have an equipped army, I have done things that have made me the hero of Russia. I've taken Bakhmut. I was the only one making advances in Ukraine, and the Russian people knew that, and the Russian media touted me as a hero to all. How statues were going to be built for me, parades were going to happen. Now's the time. And furthermore, now's the time because 90% of Russia's main trained, equipped fighting force is on the front lines in Ukraine. So he's forcing Russia to make a choice. Either pull your troops from the front lines of Ukraine to deal with me and lose the war in Ukraine likely, or let me do my thing. Russia's trying to have it both ways. They're trying to deploy the Rosguardia, which is the Russian National Guard, and their police forces to deal with Prigozhin. Well, this coup was not spontaneous. It has become very clear that it was well planned out. He has allies in the FSB, he has allies in the GRU, he has the allies in Rosguardia, he has allies in the military apparatus, the prison system, and even, it seems, some of the oligarchs are backing him. And this was a well thought out and planned situation. So I just don't think he's this operative that implanted in Russia by either the United States, the United Kingdom, or Ukraine. And to all of those Russian bots that say he is, what is it? Are we a bunch of stupid buffoons that don't know how to operate on the global stage, or are we a bunch of fucking nefarious geniuses so smart that we can infiltrate Russia for multiple years and activate a private military company against Russia when we see fit? I just don't think that is the case. I mean, we have trouble keeping a president getting a blowjob a secret, for hell's sake. So just think of that next time you want to say that Prigozhin is this American, British, Ukrainian puppet. and we're all these masters pulling his strings.